All right, so let's continue on with different types of bank accounts. There are deposit and non-deposit bank accounts. We start with checking accounts. So bank accounts that let you add money to an account is called a deposit account. Checking and savings accounts are two different types of deposit products. So if we start with checking accounts are great because they let you pay bills, buy goods. It gives you really easy access to your money. You can pay for things when you write a check. You can pay for things using your ATM or debit card. You can pay for things by banking online. You can use your bank account and link it to other services like Venmo. So checking accounts give you the most amount of flexibility with your money. The bank will keep a record of everything that you withdraw or spend and everything that you deposit or put in the bank. It's a really good idea to compare the different rules for different accounts. So when you're looking at different banks, you may want to look at what different things different banks allow you to do and what the fees are associated with any one of these things. And a lot of times the fees can be avoided if you have direct deposit or if you keep a certain minimum balance. So these are just good things to keep track of or ask the different banks about. So again, we talked about why it's better to put your money in a bank than to just leave it under your mattress. One of those things is we can look at banking versus check cashing services. And even though sometimes banks charge a monthly fee, it's also usually cheaper to use a bank than it is for a check cashing service. So say you cashed 4 checks a month and you pay a $5 charge each time you cash a check. So let's say you get 4 paychecks a month, you get paid once a week, you go into a check cashing service, it charges you $5 each time. That means in 1 month it costs you $20 to cash your checks. If you have to do that every month, that's $240 a year just to have access to your money. Now, let's say you want to consider opening a checking account and the bank charges a $5 monthly fee. Well, that includes 8 free checks per month and free use of the ATM. It orders you a box of checks. You have to order a box of checks, which is $18. And in this case, it would cost you 5 times your 12 months, $60 plus the $18 for your checks. It would be $78 a year to have a checking account, which would bring you to a grand savings of $162. So the $240 you would have spent check cashing minus the $78 from opening this bank account, you're saving $162. That's another reason to have a bank account, is it saves you money. It saves you money even if there are fees. There's also other reasons that bank accounts are great, is it gives you the convenience. So not only can you write checks, you can do your online banking, you have an ATM card, you have a debit card. It gives you a lot more flexibility with your money than just always having to go to cash your check. Banks also offer savings accounts. So when you go open your checking account, you can also offer a savings account. A savings account is a really, really safe place for you to save money. Lately, these last decade or so, the savings rate in a savings account has been very small. So you're not going to earn a lot of money, but they do pay interest, even if it's a teeny tiny bit of interest. So your money is there making money. And you can often open a savings account with a very small amount of money. You always check again what are the fees and if there's minimum balance, interest. You can't write checks from a savings account, but that's why you need a savings account and a checking account. Savings account is really just somewhere you put your money, you save it. And always review your account statement just to make sure that they're not charging you things that shouldn't be charging you. Always good to look at your account statement. All right, ATMs and debit cards. So many of you are familiar with, an ATM and a debit card. So an ATM card, there is a little bit of a difference. An ATM card can be used at all ATMs and some stores. A debit card, oftentimes it's the same thing. Your ATM and your debit card is one card. The debit card oftentimes has like a Visa or MasterCard logo on it, and that can be used anywhere MasterCard or Visa is accepted. So it gives you a lot more flexibility in that you can use it to spend the money in your bank, in your checking account, much more conveniently. It is not a credit card. On your debit card, whatever you spend comes directly out of your checking account, which is why it's really important to keep a good record of how much you have in there, because if you go over, then you're going to start getting some of those fees. The other thing that can be confused with an ATM or a debit card is a stored value card, and a stored value card are like those prepaid cards. So if you get a prepaid Visa card or a prepaid, like a gift card is a stored value card. So anything that somebody has already put money on, that is a stored value card. They're not linked to your bank account. Once you spend it, it's gone. So a prepaid card is also called a stored value card. Right. Non-deposit accounts. So non-deposit accounts, some banks offer them. They're not FDIC insured, which means it's a little bit riskier. These are different kinds of accounts where you can buy stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They tend to earn a little bit more money than savings accounts, but there is some risk because they are no longer insured. People at the bank can offer you more explanation on what the products are that each bank offers. Some of them might lose value, but each bank and each institution offers different types of non-deposit accounts. That covers your basic deposit and non-deposit accounts. Deposit accounts, checking and savings. Non-deposit accounts, more like investment accounts, which we will get into in a later video. Thanks.